And you are doing that, and you mentioned there's a passionate fan group. Jordan, I'm curious why you think that, and this is just a question. I don't know if you know the answer to it, but why aren't more artists speaking out against Ticketmaster or Live Nation? Why does it seem like we're not hearing from the Taylor Swifts or Bad Bunnies of the world necessarily?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that I might have like two answers to that. One might be that
Right.
I think like culturally, artists like historically are not really like empowered to get involved in the business side of their business, which is something that Clyde and I really are enjoying kind of spreading the awareness and message on of it's okay to be an artist and really be hands-on and care about the business side of your art. And perhaps if more artists were in this that settlement room at the end of the night and were understanding the way the money was being broken down, they too would be a little bit upset about how the state of the business is kind of being run. That's kind of part one is just maybe like a lack of understanding of ways that these deals are structured improperly. And then the second one, which I hope to be wrong, but I think that like there's kind of been this stigma of like fear of retaliation or like not wanting to poke the bear. And I'm hoping that Clyde and I are kind of setting an example that by being really like um deliberate with the wording that of all of our messaging and really not, because again, this is the genuine feeling of it's not a Live Nation problem. It's not a Live Nation's the enemy. It's just the industry. So hopefully by artists realizing that we're not actually bashing any specific entity or specific company. There's no reason for like any type of retaliation. If anything, we're hoping that more kind of companies in the industry just step forward and try and do a little bit of positive change to make that difference. But so I think that, yeah, we're trying to just set an example that there's not anything to be like scared of. And if you think there is something wrong in the business, it's okay to come forward and say that as long as you're not, unless you really think it, like as long as you're not coming forward and bashing anyone. I think that that's like a totally healthy part of being a cog in an ecosystem is
Yeah,
like
I think
speaking
it's
up.
it's the difference between being, like, inflammatory for the sake of being inflammatory, versus, having a really thoughtful and hopefully, bulletproof is the wrong word, but just putting things out there that are methodically and thoughtfully not only thought through, but worded in a way where it's kind of like, I defy any industry force, big or small, to read the words you're saying, and and we encourage healthy debate about it. Like anyone that disagrees with any of the points we've made, like we welcome a healthy debate about it, and we're here for that. And like I think with that spirit and energy of like trying to start a respectful conversation about these issues, like we hope that everyone will come to the table and be ready to have that conversation.